Most people open Claude, type a question like it's Google, get an OK answer, and quietly go back to ChatGPT. They're using maybe 10% of what it can do. By the end of this video, you'll have Claude set up the way the people who actually get value out of it do. You'll understand what every button does, and you'll have used it to do one genuinely useful thing, start to finish. No fluff, no hype. Just the setup that works on the free plan so you can follow along exactly. Quick thing before we start, drop a comment and tell me what you want to use Claude for. I read everyone and it decides what I cover next in this course. First 30 seconds on what Claude actually is because it matters for how you use it. Claude is an AI assistant made by a company called Anthropic. You can think of it like ChatGPT, but it's particularly strong at three things. Writing that doesn't sound like a robot, thinking carefully through messy, open-ended problems, and writing code. And here's the part most beginners completely miss, the part this whole course is really about. Claude can do things, not just talk. It can build you working little apps, read and edit your files, and plug into your other tools like your calendar or your email. I'm not going to tell you it's a private jet and everything else is a bicycle. That's nonsense. ChatGPT and Gemini are excellent. But Claude does a few specific things noticeably better, and once it's set up properly, it's the one I reach for every day. So let's set yours up properly, right now. Step 1. Open your browser and go to claude.ai. That's spelled CLAUDE.ai. You can also just search Claude and click the first result. To make an account, you've got two options. Sign in with a Google account in one click, or use any email address. I'd use Google, it's the fastest. The very first thing it asks for is your date of birth. That's just an age check. Every AI service has to do it, nothing to worry about. Enter it and continue. Next, it asks how you're planning to use Claude with two choices, for personal use or with your team. Unless you're setting this up for a whole company, choose personal use. That just tailors a few things for an individual rather than an organization. And now we land on the screen that actually matters, the plans. Let me save you some money and give you the honest version of Claude's pricing, because the screen makes it look more complicated than it is. There are three plans: Free, which costs nothing; Pro, which is around £15 or $17 a month; and Max, which starts around £90 or $100. Here's what you actually need to know. The free plan genuinely does almost everything a beginner needs. You can chat, it can search the web, you can upload files and images, and surprisingly, you can even build those mini apps I mentioned. So start on Free. You only need Pro once you specifically want Claude Code for programming, or Cowork, which is the version that works across your files and apps, or you start hitting the daily usage limits and want more headroom. Max is really for power users who live in it all day. My honest advice: don't pay a penny yet. Click Use Claude for free, get comfortable, and upgrade later only if you actually hit a wall. After you pick Free, Claude offers you its desktop app, and I genuinely recommend downloading it. Here's why it's worth it. Two of the most powerful features, Cowork and Code, only run in the desktop app, not the website. The desktop app is where Claude stops being a chatbot in a tab and becomes something that can actually work alongside everything else on your computer. Then you'll see a short privacy screen. It tells you three things. Your chats are ad-free, there are safety guardrails built in, and there's one toggle called Help Claude Improve, which, if it's on, lets Anthropic use your conversations to train future versions. That's completely your choice. If you'd rather keep your chats private, switch it off, and I'll show you exactly where that setting lives in a moment. Finally, it asks your name so Claude knows what to call you, and that's it. You're in. Okay, this is the main Claude screen, and I want to give you the proper tour, because a couple of these moved recently, so even if you've watched an older tutorial, some of it's now in a different place. Let's go down the menu on the left. At the top, New Chat, that just starts a fresh conversation. Below that, Chats, which is your full history, every conversation you've ever had, searchable. Then Projects. Projects are honestly one of the best features. They're like folders that hold related chats and files together with their own instructions, so all your work on one thing stays in one place. We'll set one up later in the course. Next, Artifacts. This is where Claude builds you actual things, working mini-apps, documents, tools, and they get saved here. That's the fun one, and we'll use it today. Then Code, which is Claude Code, a tool for programmers, and it needs the paid plan. And finally, Customize. Remember this word because this is the one almost everyone misses. Customize is where skills and connectors live, and those are so powerful they each get their own episode later. Now the box where you actually type. A few things to know. On the left, the plus button. That's how you attach files, images, or connect other apps. Then, this is important, the model selector. Right now, mine says Sonnet 4.6. Claude comes in a few different models. Sonnet is the balanced, everyday one, fast and smart, and it's the right default for almost everything. There's also a more powerful model called Opus for genuinely hard problems, and a lighter, faster one called Haiku for simple stuff. The rule of thumb, leave it on Sonnet and only reach for Opus when something's really complex. You've also got a voice button if you'd rather talk than type, and the settings. That is the entire interface. Nothing hidden, nothing scary. Now let's make it work the way you want. Before you do anything else, do this one thing because it quietly improves every single answer Claude will ever give you, and almost nobody sets it up. Click your name in the bottom left, go to Settings, and find the section for Personal Preferences. This is a box where you tell Claude once how you want it to talk to you, and it remembers it forever in every chat. For example, I'm going to type, "Be concise and direct. Skip the preamble and the filler. And when you give me steps, number them. I'll save that." Now, watch what happens. From now on, when I ask Claude anything, it answers in that style automatically. No waffle, clean numbered steps, without me ever asking again. 2 minutes here genuinely saves you from correcting Claude 100 times down the line. Set it once, forget it. Now the single most important skill, and it's got nothing to do with buttons. It's how you ask. The difference between people who think AI is useless and people who think it's magic is almost always the quality of their prompt. Let me show you with the same request done 2 ways. The lazy way, I just type, "Help me write a cold email." And watch, Claude can't actually write it yet because I've given it nothing to go on. Instead, it has to stop and ask me a string of questions. Who am I? Who am I emailing? What do I actually want? That right there is the tell of a weak prompt. The model knows nothing about who I am, what I'm selling, or who I'm talking to. Now the proper way. I'm going to give it 4 things: a role, the context, the goal, and the format I want. So I type, "You are an expert B2B copywriter. I sell an online booking tool to small hair salons. Write me a 70-word cold email that actually gets a reply. Keep it friendly and end with one clear call to action." Same Claude, same model. Look at the difference. It's specific, it's usable, I could practically send it. You don't need clever magic words or some secret prompt people sell you. You just need to tell it who to be, give it the facts, and describe what a good answer looks like. Role, context, goal, format. Remember those 4 and you're ahead of almost everyone. Right, let's do one real useful thing together. So this isn't just theory, and this is where you'll see why Claude is different. We're going to use artifacts. I'm going to give Claude a messy brain dump, just everything rattling around in my head for the week, and ask it to turn that chaos into a clean, organized, prioritized plan that I can actually use. So I type out the mess. Finish the quarterly report, reply to the landlord, book the dentist, prep Monday's client pitch, fix the broken contact form on the website, renew the car insurance before Friday, and so on. And then the key instruction, turn this into a prioritized weekly plan as an artifact, group it by priority, add rough time estimates, and flag anything that's time sensitive. And I send it. Now watch what comes back, because this is the moment it gets good. Claude doesn't just reply with a flat list. It builds me an actual structured plan, right here in the response. And there it is. Look at this. It's grouped everything by priority, with a do first section at the top. It's added time estimates to every task. It's flagged the genuinely time-sensitive things like the car insurance in red. It even totals it up at the top. 9 tasks, around 11 hours of work this week. From a wall of panicked text to a clean, usable plan in about 20 seconds. And this isn't throwaway. I can edit it. I can save it. I can even share it. That right there is the moment Claude stops being a chatbot and becomes a tool. And one honest note, AI does get things wrong sometimes. If it misjudges a priority, you just tell it, fix this, and it updates the whole thing. You stay in control. So let's recap what you've just done, because it's more than it feels like. You've created your account, you've understood the plans and saved yourself some money, you know what every part of the interface does, you've locked in a preference that improves every answer, you've learned the one prompting skill that matters, and you've used Claude to build something real. You are genuinely now ahead of the vast majority of people using this tool. In the next episode, we go deeper. We'll really master prompting, and we'll go properly into artifacts and build some tools from scratch, just from a sentence. Subscribe so it lands in your feed, because this is a full course and each episode builds on the last. I've put a free setup checklist in the description so you don't miss a step. I'll see you in the next one.